Sorry, Scurvy Dogs, it's the Sunken Swede here and welcome to World of Tanks. New name, new kind of way to look at it. I got tired of just having the Richard Johnson here and having my name on the YouTube channel. I want to have it like an icon, so I went for the Sunken Swede. And I know it actually has been a very long time since I did a video now, so very sorry for that, but I have been quite busy and I can tell you that for 2 weeks I will not be home or able at all to actually play any games or do any recordings or so, because I will be in Gothenburg and do some training. This will be the week 16 and 17, I think it was. So till then I will try to do some videos for you, and hopefully they will come out and work as they should. Because yeah, I have had this ratio issue with the videos. They have not been fully maxed out, or they have been like a window inside a window. I have no idea why, which even though I changed the settings, I'm recording in full HD. I set the video settings for when I'm rendering them to full HD, but when they are ready or when they are finally rendered, they just don't work as they should. No idea why. But yeah, enough of that. Look at this, it's the mouse. I wanted to record it with you guys and girls when I first bought it and when I first went into the first battle with it, but of course that video then became one of those bad videos, so I felt cranky and became a little mad there, so I was like, right, fudge it. Let's screw it, I'm not gonna do a video now, let's just play with the tank. So from there on then it went for me not doing any videos there for a time. As now, when I'm talking right now, I do not know if this video will be as it should, or if it will not be as it should. But hopefully it will be as it should. The full 16.9 1920 times 1080p ratio. But yeah, this is the mouse. It's the tier 10 heavy tank of the VK4502P or of B, and this one. Which is actually a beast when it comes to the armor of the tank. The weak spots, of course, is the commander's hatch and the fact that it has some very weak sides. It's not like the E75, or as you can see on the Jagdtiger here, you can see the chassis. The Jagdtiger has some well armored sides, it has some great sloping, and it has this extra spaced armor. Of the tank. The VK4502BP of B does not actually kind of have that. It's not very sloped and no spaced armor at all, except the tracks. You only have this little mud flaps, mud guards there. Other from that, there's no protection from the sides nearly. Very flat. But yeah, after the VK4502P of B, annoying name, the VKP, you get the mouse, the mighty mouse, the 190-ton beast, which I have fitted with wet ammo rack, and I was thinking of getting improved ventilation, but then I saw the price. At the time when I bought it, I only had like 100,000 credits left, because I thought the sale for the mouse, top of the tree sale there, was only for a day. But it has been like that now for a week at least. Yeah, 30% discount. And it has been like that for at least a week, or if it's soon to be a week. I have played, let's see, with the tank. I have played only 14 battles, 64% victories. Let's see, damage ratio, and destruction ratio, and armor use efficiency. Well, it's not actually that hard to use the armor of this tank well, because it has 200 millimeters in the hull, 240 in the turret, 210 on the sides and rear of the turret, 185 on the side and 160 in the rear, and it has some spaced armor on the sides, and the rear is well sloped. At least the chassis, the the turret is quite flat in the back there. It's slow, it's big, it's really heavy. It has a great gun, that 128mm KVK 44L55. It has a it has a very good, if I say so. It's not best, it's not a bad, it's not only good, it's a little bit better than good. It's very good, it's slightly better than good. You get the deal. It's 4.03 rate of fire, it has 2.46 average penetration with standard AP, 185 to 308. It can do damage between 365 to 613 with that 128mm. It has a dispersion of 0.38, but as you can see, I have brothers in arms on all the crew members. I switched them around, except the new one which I had to add, which I'm training in the Löwe, which I will boost to be 100 very soon. Not very many battles left. So the dispersion will be better, the aiming time will be better, rate of fire will be better, and 2.9 aiming time. It's quite slow due to I mean, this tank is very big, it's very slow, the gun is very accurate, so it would feel weird for this tank, which has that huge crew compartment place, to be that slow when it comes to aiming. But yeah, maybe they just do it because they want to level out the tank and the gun compared to other tanks and all that. But 2.9 aiming time. I don't know mouse VK. Let's bring up the VK. It's the same gun that the VK uses. And the VK, see if it has the same stats. Yep, 2.9038, but it has a slower rate of fire than the mouse. The mouse has bigger turret, and yeah, same damage and all that. So the rate of fire of the mouse is better than the VK, but the mouse looks just more sexier. The VK is so trollish. The mouse can be too, but the VK, which has 200mm in the front, and everyone shoots at the lower plate places, because you have more or less learned that when you start playing the game, that you always should be firing at the lower plate, front plate there, because that is more or less like a weak spot. But not on the VK. That's actually not a weak spot at all, because that plate is so well angled. You can see, look at that, it's very well sloped and angled back. And when you are firing from a tank, your gun is, as you can see, it's quite high. So if you're, if you're face hugging this tank, you won't be firing directly then you are, firing directly down into the tank with a gun, which means that this will be nearly, 90 degrees is here, but if you look at 90 degrees on that plate from this angle, it's nearly 180 degrees on the lower plate. So if you are firing down into a tank, you don't want to be firing on the lower plate. On this tank at least, you will be firing on the upper plate. But I have been facing other VKs with this tank that I could not penetrate, so I started firing at the commander's hatch or load HE, tried to take out the gun and all that, tried to get around it and detrack and all that. But it was hard, it was really hard, because I have problem killing other VKs when I'm driving my own VK. I was I was thinking of why not go for a large caliber tank on rammer, improve ventilations and all that, but it's so hard actually to choose the things that you want to fit the tank, because why not? Go for toolbox, you get a 25% faster repair speed, so I can wait, I have it on some other tank. There it is, the E50. 25% more, that's quite good, and in this tank you are more or less bound to be detracked. It's like the T95, look at those tracks, they're huge, and but yeah, they are well protected and dug in very deep inside the chassis and the armament and all that, but you are very often to get detracked and fire upon your guns and all that. But yeah, when I can show you some things on the battlefield with this tank. Hopefully we'll get Himmelsdorf or something like that and not an open map. But yeah, let's go over some other things. Standard issue, attachment, small, repair, automatic. Automatic just because I don't want to waste extra damage when I am on fire. I mean, I have 74 in depot, which is due to all these extra missions and all that rewards and so on. Small first aid kit, small repair kit. You don't. I'm more used to the small ones, because if something is broken and I need to fix it very fast because I'm in danger, I just press the 4 and 1 or 4, 2, 4, 5 and so on, the combinations, and then repair it quickly, and then can continue to kill them or defend myself and all that. But if you have the big ones, as I have in the Jagdpanzer E100, the big ones, those repair everything on a tank, and those medkits heal everyone inside the tank. So you tend to use the big ones when you should not. Sometimes when you're using the big ones, you should wait for the crew to fix it by themselves, and that way it could be really good to have the toolbox. So you can save it later on for when you have maybe damaged radio, damaged engine tracks, wounded gunner, wounded loader, and so on. And then when you are more or less bound to have a mint condition tank, you just repair everything, and then you can fight. But if you have small repair kits, you repair tracks early on in the game, and then when you get fire upon the tracks again, or you get a damaged gun, you can't repair it. So sometimes it's better to have big large repair kits, but sometimes it's better to have the small ones. I mean, look at it, it's huge. The Jagdpanzer E100, that's a very huge tank, but look at it compared to the Maus. The Maus has a more boxy-ish shape, which gives it that huge silhouette. And the Jagdpanzer E100 looks a little bit like laid back, laid down version, slacky. It's cool, relaxed. It seems like it's like, you know, when you're leaning back inside your chair just to relax. And the Maus is just, it's like if you're sitting straight up with your head, you're just very sharp in your body. You have this 90-degree angle from your thighs to your back and all that. You're sitting very straight. But yeah, enough chit-chat of the tank. Let's bring it out on the battlefield, and hopefully we'll get a good map where I can show you some crucial things you need to know when you're driving this tank. And yeah, about that intro, I don't think I will go for the RE mixes. But from now on, it's the Sunken Swede. Don't think I can change my in-game name to that because it's quite long, but maybe we can't. But I'm used to the Real Boy name, but I'm also used to be just saying welcome to blah blah blah. I'm Richard Johnson, and I will be a host tonight. Alright. It's so beautiful. And there we have a stock. No, it has a long 88, so it's not completely stock VK. If it would be in stock, I think it would have been a shorter version of the 88. I think it's the 88. It might be 105. I don't know. But yeah. And he looks at me. Oh, I feel like I'm a role model or something. It always feels like that when you're driving a tank and someone in a tank below you are looking at you when you're driving with them, and they're like pointing with a gun like this, and they're just watching at you when you're driving past them or beside them or after them or something like that. You just feel like, yeah, I know, sooner or later, boy, sooner or later you will also get there, little kid. Just have patience, my child. But yeah, you feel like a role model when you're driving these huge things. But yeah, as you can see, it's very slow. But actually, I think historically the Maus, since it could not drive over bridges, because VK-45-2, they don't have anyone on their time. Damn! Scares shit out of me. Since the VK could not, since the Maus could not drive over bridges because it was a super heavy tank, 190 tons at least, they had to make it able to drive over rivers and so on. So for some reason they made a tank. Somehow they made a tank able to drive in rivers and all that. I think they sealed up everything in every compartment, every entry and all that, and they had like periscopes and snorkels and all that. And they made it able for this tank to pass rivers submerged. I don't know actually if it was the complete tank was submerged, but at least the hull. Maybe not the turret ring and all that. Very hard to seal it up, but or maybe they actually completed to make the whole tank submerged. We have a T1. Is it E5? Yeah, E5 over here. But yeah, this tank, before we get into action, it has a whopping 240 millimeters of turret armor in the front, but as you can see on the turret front there, it like curves and bends. So here on the bending, on the curves, if you shoot at it directly onto those bends or those curves there, you get nearly a 90 degrees angle of impact. So when someone is firing at you, or when you are reloading, you have fired and start to reload, you then have to angle the turret a little bit away from them, so they can't fire directly into the turret front. Now I'm getting smacked by a Centurion and the T-44. So yeah, this was not amusing, and IS-7 left me alone here, drive up to face the other ones. Yeah, not much I could do there. In the beginning it looked like it was only the E5, but I think, don't know, the T-44 was damaged, so he might have come from this way down. I don't think he went all the way around here. Maybe the Centurion as well went down here, and the E5 started pushing, and the IS-7, who was standing here over here, went over here, as you can see, now getting his butt raped as well. We have tank destroyers in the base there. Sometimes this is actually a very good example of sometimes when you need to push somewhere, and sometimes when you actually don't need to go into crucial locations. As you saw here in the middle, let's go for the T-54, yeah, Type 60. They are pushing quite hard over here, and as you can see, we're only 2 tanks defending over here, and they actually are holding it thanks to the tank destroyers on this side. Now if you get tanks on this ridge, on these hills and all that over here, they can fire upon this entrance or this exit here when tanks are coming down. So what you need is actually, you don't need to push up with 4 or 5 tanks over here and try to fight it and then win over here. What you can do is just wait with 1 or 2 tanks below this hill here, and then just have tanks, like tank destroyers and all that, defend from this location over here, and then can snipe, and with those powerful guns in the distance without getting spotted, just wreak havoc upon the enemies. So what you want then is that you want some very solid tanks going over here, block this other way, some tanks below this hill spotting or just holding the enemies a little bit, so the tank destroyers or very powerful guns over this edge can fire upon this exit entrance. And then you want the light tanks or the mediums and very agile heavy tanks push this side. So you don't like split the team in 5, 5, 5. You can have like 1 or 2 over here, you can have 2 or 3 here, which are 5 then, and then you can have like 3 really brutal tanks on the left side, maybe even 2, because you have tank destroyers in the rear that where it can help, which can help those brutes in on the left there if they get overrun. So you can just fall back to the bridge there, the rocks, and then have tank destroyers in the rear defending them, which means that you have more or less what is it, 7 to approximately 7 tanks with fast mediums and so on that can push the other flank and try to go and take out their artists, the base defenders and all that, and then come up in the rear of the ones that are in the mid there. Pro tips, but not from a pro, unfortunately. Amarak, tracks, and tracks, yeah. Just keep on pressing that to ban button. I have a very good replay, but I can't remember. I don't think there have been any. Of course we'll get one of these maps again. Give me Himmelsdorf for God's sake, or Ensk or something like that. I think I only had Himmelsdorf once with this tank, maybe twice actually, since we did some we call it click platoon, where we in the AP3 we are all teaming up in platoons of 3, everyone in 3 or 3 and 3 or 2 and 2 and so on, and we're all sitting in one big TeamSpeak group, and one of them is when everyone is ready we have choose the same server, same tier of tanks and all that, and when everyone is ready we have one that says 3, 2, 1 press, but in Swedish 3, 2, 1 click. We call it press platoon there, which is click platoon. Just so you try to get in the same game and same match with everyone else. So we did that last evening now, and it was hilarious. We were fighting each other's 3 versus 3 there on a map, or maybe with 2 platoons versus 1 platoon and all that. It was really fun. And then we were in one platoon. I was in the mouse, and we had 2 E100s that were facing light, mediums, and heavies and all that. And it was like, oh, we're gonna wreak havoc upon you. We're gonna kill you so easily. And we were just like herping in a big choo-choo train there with 1 mouse in the front and 2 E100s, and just rolling our way downtown into the base and all that, and just finding our way. Don't stop. We just pushed, and we took. Oh, it just was so easy and so fun. So that's why you have perks of being in communities or teams or clans or whatever you want to call it. When you're playing with others, you have so much more fun. But yeah, see if we can get up to this corner over here. We have a VKP. Is it the same one? Anyhow, ooh, lots and lots of artillery in the base there. Hopefully our artillery notes them. 1 artillery is taken out. Great. T92 got him. Sweet. But yeah, this tank, as you noticed there, when in the previous match, I took lots and lots of hits, but many of them also bounced because I managed to angle this tank quite well, and that is one of the perks of this tank. It has some great armor, but it has some great angling capacity as well. Mouse doesn't bother about T61s. Mouse eats T61s for breakfast. See, as soon as I'm pointing the gun towards him, he's backing off. And I want them to take out the other artilleries, because artillery is bad for Mouse, since Mouse is a big tank. And I set him on fire, and has automatic fire extinguisher. There it goes, artillery's on me. One battle, I took 5 artillery hits in a row, and they took me out. I bounced 3 or 4 heat shells from an E100, but got taken out by artillery shells. 5 in a row. That's marvelous. As you can see that I'm not trying to rack up kills. What I'm doing is taking out the guns. You don't want to have 5 wounded guns, but who everyone can fire. What you want is 5 dead guns, or at least 4 dead guns instead of 5 wounded ones. Yeah, that was very uncalled for bouncing there. Here we have a 3090, which I can kill if I only get the gun on him. There. Instead of him driving around harassing that Panther 88, it's better to take him out. That was actually the T-55A, that new event tank, I think. Let's see, he shot me. Yeah, straight in the front there. That Panther 88 is so dead. If I can only keep the tank angled towards him. Yes, VK, please shoot at him. Great! Amazing! Gonna load an armor piercing a second shell, just in case, because here comes the tier 10 medium tank. See if he's trying to push over here. No, load gold. As first, just to be on the safe side. Took some unnecessary damage there from the I-7. Actually surprised that the bounced the shot from the T-55A there in the air. As you can see, that angling there, and he was standing like in a weird position as well, so he had to fire at me or in an angle or in the turret front. And the turret front is the most well armored place on this tank compared to the ass of the chassis. So yeah, this tank is a beast, and if I get a Top Gun now, that is actually a Top Gun that I haven't got in a long time. See if object is hiding. He had lots of health, so I don't know why he should. Might be able to go for the Foch. What it could be is... yep, he's going for the Foch. And, ooh, damn, the Foch was one kill... Ooh, one shot kill, that's not good. And the VK is not with me, object is... I wonder if he's trying to snipe. I wonder if he's trying to snipe from that hill, trying to defend the cap, because, yeah, why not? I mean, why should we two not go for their cap? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go a little bit to the right if he's trying to go a sneak away into our cap, because he's very fast. He can do that. Damn it, bad plan driving there, because he would be able to get to our cap before we get to his one, but since we are two, we are capping faster, so it's a very gambly situation here now. And that object was 40. I'm not gonna point the finger at him, but I think he might be firing gold here. We'll just be safe side. I mean, I'm firing gold here now. I'm going to, be firing gold just to be on the safe side. And I think he's doing the same just to be, as you said, on the safe side. He might have been spamming. I think they have heat on the Object 140 during the entire game, but we don't know. I mean I mean, why should he? He's a very, very good medium tank, and since I don't have XVM, I don't know if he is a very good tank player as well, but I think he is. I'm spotted. As I'm saying, he can be all over that side, standing on that ridge now. We don't know. And I'm pushing the VK up a hill with a mouse. Yeah, he said he's stuck, so I can't blame the chap. Since he spotted us, he must be either on that side or on that side somewhere, or either on that side, because we did not proxy spot him, so he must be in some cover on somewhere, or either with binoculars just out of our view range. Sometimes I just can't understand why people type different things in chat. Okay, I'm gonna go first now. I'm lit again. There he is, yep, he's on the right side. Saved by the goal. I don't think I would have been able to penetrate him there with the AP, so yeah, better to be safe than sorry sometimes. I don't feel bad for using gold there. It was a very useful situation, so I needed to use gold there because I have no idea how good that VK was, and he said it was stock, so I don't know how good his guns are compared to the 140. But yeah, the 140 did a very good job. He got Top Gun as well. Pascucci's medal, I think that's for defending the cap, perhaps, or something like that. Defender, and I only got Top Gun. But yeah, thanks to VK, very cheerful chap. And the Foch was helpful. He said from which direction the 140 was killing him, but yeah, I already know because I have a lost no position enabled. But yeah, Mouse, very, very fast tank, as you saw there, pushing a tank uphill. But yeah, it's very hard to like show viewers how to perform well in a tank. How should they act with a tank? How should they drive? Where should they fire with the guns and all that? With just videos. Whether you want this, you want training rooms, you want open areas where with pals and all that, where you can like point towards the tank and all that. You want pictures. You want everything. Just if you want very detailed information. But as you see, but I can tell you something. So as you saw there, the IS-7 shot me in here, in the front there, and I don't know if they changed it on the mouse, but some of the German tanks they changed so that they cannot take fire when they're taking shots into the transmission from the front. But I think the engines of the mouse is here in the front. Two of them, I think it is. DB60382 might be two engines, I don't know. Only 12% chance of firing, however. Yeah, this plate here, it's only 200 millimeters, but it's not that very well sloped. The upper part is quite well sloped, and the lower plate feels a little bit more. It's not more. Damn it, English! It does not feel so very well sloped as the upper plate. Now I said it. So what you want is either to go hold down, so you only have the upper plate, and then when you're standing in that position, when you're firing with your guns, of course you have to point the gun towards the enemy. But when you have fired with it, you want to turn it away, so they don't get a 90-degree angle upon these turret cheeks here. You want them to have to be fired onto the turret in this angle. So they're firing upon the sides and ricocheting off, firing to the fronts, and you get a better armor value, but you might not be able to actually ricochet off the turret front there. What you can do is just swing the turret around a bit, trying to either hide the cheeks somewhere behind building corners or other tanks and all that, but just try to swing the turret a bit so that you're angling the turret front and sides towards the enemy, so they don't get this 90-degree angle upon the turret front there. That's probably the most important thing of this tank, and it is a very good side scraper with this side skirt, this wide tracks, the thick armor. It's just actually so magnificent and so very well performing tank. It's incredible how few there is that actually plays with this tank. Probably though because it's very big, it's quite slow, huge silhouette. Artie loves it, and the pace, it feels like the playstyle of this game has changed, so it's not the big heavy tanks, it's more or less up to the agile mediums and lights and all that, so not that many plays actually the super tanks, super heavy tanks is what you would call them. But yeah, that was the mouse. Don't know actually the full name of it. I think it's Panzerkampfwagen something, if it's 8 or 10 or don't know. Let's see, vehicle details. Heavy tank mouse, yeah, it's only the basic there. The only two were made, and the one that is in the museum today has the chassis from one of the tanks, mouses, and the turret from the other one. But yeah, don't have the full information of it. I can do some historical videos or historical articles about it, but I don't know if that's what you want to show or want to learn or so on. But if you do, just post them in the comment sections below or on the discussion page on my YouTube channel, or send me a mail, whatever you feel like. If you actually have any very good replays of the mouse, upload them to woodreplays.com and then send me the replay link to my mail, and I will take a look at them. But as I said, that was it for this video. So leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to support the Zanken Swede, and I see you guys and girls in the next video for them. But till that time, take care of each other now, and bye bye then.